mother's voice is? It can reach a baby before it's born and touch her child's heart decades later when she's miles away. The last time I spoke to you, I talked about reading to your children and that it's never too early to begin. You can talk to and read to babies while they're in the womb. Newborns recognize their mother's voices and respond to stories they heard before they were born. This contention is supported by research that I mentioned the last time we were together. And new studies are being conducted to support the importance of mommy's voice, both before and after babies are born. Hi, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Since we are just getting acquainted, I'll tell you that I'm a late bloomer. I started my studies in prenatal and perinatal psychology in my 50s, and I graduated with a PhD at age 62. It's never too late to learn, and it's never too early to begin learning. Our understanding of what went on in our mother's wombs is growing. Over the last century, we have come to know that experiences we had as babies shaped our lives, how we thought, how we felt, how we behaved, and what we believed. We certainly became aware that a pregnant mother's diet was important, and then we started to better understand how the stress a pregnant mother experienced was also felt by her child, that baby that she carried. Since we know that the time that babies spend in the womb is the period of their greatest development, we want those months to be the healthiest possible, so a baby should receive the best nutrients and growth-promoting hormones. Since the blueprint for the rest of our lives is laid down while we are in utero, what else can mothers do besides eating well and reducing stress to enhance the development of their unborn babies? It's as easy as talking to your unborn child. I mentioned last time that studies conducted back in the 1980s found that newborns recognized their mother's voices right after they were born. Babies even recognize theme songs from their mother's favorite soap operas, those that they heard while in utero. I told you about new studies looking at premature babies and how recordings of mother's voice can help babies while they're in the NICU. Infants in the neonatal intensive care unit sleep better when they hear recordings of their mothers reading stories to them, telling them stories, talking to them. This is important to know for the benefit of all babies, not just those born prematurely. Babies prefer mothers' voices when they're right out of the womb, and they prefer the native language their mothers speak. As well, babies calm down when they hear the familiar sounds of mother's voice. Even adults can be soothed by calling home to hear their mother's voice over the phone. Sometimes it takes doctors a long time to prove that what mothers intuitively know. It's wise to talk to and read to babies while they are growing in the womb. This helps shape babies' communication skills, and it helps mothers bond with their baby as well. Years ago, Alfred Tomatis, a noted specialist on hearing, wrote a book called The Ear and the Voice. His studies conducted in France with autistic children produced amazing results. He altered the sounds the children heard to replicate the sounds of a mother's voice as it was heard inside a watery womb. Children wept with joy when they recognized their mother's voices for the very first time. Tomatis thought that babies began tuning in to mother's voice by 5 weeks in utero. Dr. David Chamberlain told us that the ear is physically capable of hearing by 14 weeks gestational age. Other experts think hearing begins later, but the results are clear. Babies in the womb hear their voices, their mother's voices. They tune in to mom and prefer her voice. Babies are showing us that they love to listen to their mothers talk, read, and sing. If you're pregnant, find books and songs that make your heart sing. You may be surprised years later when your child lights up when she or he hears stories she first heard in the womb, or brighten at hearing a song you first sang to those babies before they were born. As I said before, I would love to have you read the first fairy tales, books that I wrote, but there are so many stories and songs to choose from. Just knowing babies are listening in the womb and love the sound of their mother's voice. In the future, we'll be talking about the words to use, words to eliminate, intergenerational effects, and epigenetic effects on how babies and ourselves were impacted, and even more. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to sharing more ideas with you about babies and what we're learning from them.